Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to say, the moment I saw these latest General Hospital spoilers, I got that uneasy feeling in my gut that something big is about to explode in Port Charles. I've watched Sonny Corinthos survive countless enemies over the years, but this situation with Jen Sidwell feels different. This isn't just another power struggle between two stubborn men. This is starting to look like the kind of feud that leaves innocent people caught in the crossfire, and that's what worries me the most. From where I'm sitting, Sonny is trying to do what he has always done when faced with a dangerous threat, take control before things get worse. He wants to lure Sidwell out of hiding and finally put an end to the threat once and for all. On paper, that sounds like a solid plan, but as the old saying goes, when you corner a dangerous man, you'd better be ready for whatever comes next. Sidwell has never struck me as someone who would quietly accept defeat, and his promise to wipe Sonny off the map tells me he's preparing for one last desperate move. What makes this showdown so fascinating is that both men are driven by the same thing, determination. Neither one is willing to back down. Sonny wants to protect his family, his territory, and everything he has built. Sidwell wants revenge and refuses to let go of his grudge. That's usually the recipe for a disaster in Port Charles. Every time two powerful men become obsessed with destroying each other, somebody else ends up paying the price. I noticed that Sonny has already tightened security around his family, and honestly, I can't blame him. If I were in his shoes, I'd be doing the exact same thing. The problem is that villains rarely attack where defenses are strongest. They look for the unexpected opening. They search for the person nobody thinks needs protection. That's why my attention immediately shifted to Assistant District Attorney Justine Turner. The more I think about it, the more Justine feels like the perfect target. Sonny and Justine have worked hard to keep their relationship hidden, but secrets have a way of finding daylight in Port Charles. If Sidwell has uncovered the truth, he suddenly has access to a powerful weapon against Sonny. He doesn't have to go after Sonny directly. He can strike at someone Sonny cares about and force him into making emotional decisions instead of smart ones, and that's where things could become truly dangerous. I can easily imagine Sidwell arranging a kidnapping as part of a larger trap. If Justine suddenly vanished, Sonny wouldn't be thinking like a strategist anymore. He'd be thinking like a man desperate to save someone he loves. In my experience watching this show, that's when characters make mistakes, and that's when villains believe they have the upper hand. The possibility of Justine becoming Sidwell's victim also raises the stakes in a way that feels very personal. A kidnapping wouldn't just threaten her life. It could expose Sonny's secret relationship, create chaos in his personal life, and force him into a confrontation before he's ready. That's the kind of emotional pressure that can break even the strongest people. Right now, I can't shake the feeling that General Hospital is building toward a dramatic summer showdown. The pieces are falling into place. Sidwell is growing more desperate. Sonny is preparing for war. And if Justine is truly the person caught in the middle, then Sonny may soon find himself facing the one situation he fears most, a battle he can't control. What really stands out to me about this storyline is how fragile Sonny's position may actually be, even though he appears stronger than ever on the surface. He has increased security around his family, he is actively trying to eliminate Sidwell as a threat, and he seems determined to stay one step ahead. However, I've watched General Hospital long enough to know that the biggest dangers often come from the places characters least expect. That's why I keep coming back to Justine Turner. Even if Sidwell hasn't discovered the truth about her relationship with Sonny yet, I find it hard to believe that secret can remain hidden for much longer. Port Charles has never been a town where secrets stay buried, and all it takes is one careless comment, one wrong conversation, or one person connecting the dots. In fact, I can't help wondering if Ezra Boyle could end up playing an unexpected role in all of this. He may have no intention of helping Sidwell, but sometimes the most dangerous information is revealed by people who don't realize the damage they are causing. If Ezra accidentally exposes Sonny and Justine's connection, Sidwell could suddenly gain access to the perfect weapon against his enemy. At that point, the conflict would no longer be about territory, power, or revenge alone. It would become deeply personal, and those are always the storylines that worry me the most because they tend to leave lasting scars on everyone involved. The possibility of Sidwell targeting Justine makes a great deal of sense from a strategic point of view. Sonny has spent years protecting his children and the people closest to him. Anyone planning an attack would know that reaching them would be extremely difficult. Justine, on the other hand, may not be surrounded by the same level of protection. She may continue her daily routine without realizing that she has become important to one of the most dangerous men in Port Charles. If Sidwell is searching for a weakness in Sonny's defenses, Justine could easily become that weakness. The more I think about it, the more I believe a kidnapping could be exactly the kind of move Sidwell would make. He has repeatedly shown that he is patient, calculating, and willing to play the long game. Rather than confronting Sonny directly, he could choose to attack Sonny emotionally. Kidnapping Justine would immediately put Sonny in an impossible position. It would force him to react, force him to abandon whatever plans he has carefully prepared, and force him to focus entirely on saving her. In many ways, that would be a far more effective attack than any direct assault Sidwell could launch. What makes this possibility especially compelling is Sonny's likely reaction. As viewers, we've seen Sonny face countless crises over the years. He has survived betrayals, mob wars, family tragedies, and dangerous enemies. Yet whenever someone he truly cares about is threatened, his emotions tend to take over. If he learns that Justine has been abducted and is being held somewhere by Sidwell, I honestly believe panic will begin to replace reason. He may try to remain calm on the outside, but internally he would be racing against time, imagining every possible scenario and fearing the worst. I can easily picture Sonny becoming consumed by the need to find her before it's too late. Instead of carefully calculating his next move, he may begin taking risks that he would normally avoid. That's exactly what Sidwell could be counting on. A desperate Sonny is often a dangerous Sonny, but he can also become vulnerable because he starts acting from his heart rather than his head. If Sidwell's goal is to lure Sonny into a trap, then threatening Justine could be the perfect way to accomplish it. Another aspect of this story that fascinates me is the potential fallout from exposing Sonny and Justine's relationship. A kidnapping investigation would naturally draw attention. Questions would be asked. People would start noticing how personally invested Sonny is in her safety. Before long, those around them could begin putting the pieces together. Suddenly, the kidnapping itself might become only part of the story. The revelation of their secret relationship could create additional problems, spark new conflicts, and alter several relationships throughout Port Charles. That's why I believe this storyline has the potential to become much bigger than a simple rescue mission. The emotional consequences could continue long after the immediate danger has passed. Even if Justine is eventually rescued, the experience could permanently change her relationship with Sonny and affect how others view them both. In a town like Port Charles, the truth often creates just as much damage as the lies that came before it. As I look ahead to the episodes still to come, I can't shake the feeling that Justine's future is becoming increasingly uncertain. The spoilers already suggest that she will be placed in serious danger as this final chapter unfolds, and that alone tells me that major drama is on the horizon. Whether she becomes Sidwell's kidnapping victim or finds herself caught in another deadly situation, it seems clear that she is being pulled directly into the center of the war between Sonny and Sidwell. From where I'm sitting, that is one of the most dangerous places anyone can be, and I have a feeling the consequences are going to be felt throughout Port Charles for a very long time.